I would say to young folks, um, don't be in a state of denial of the racism and sexism, but don't let that block you. Don't teach your children that you have to be twice as good as a white. That's an awful thing to teach a child. That's like saying because you're black, white America has a right to change your dollar for 94 cents. But we used to get 50 cents, and before that we used to get nothing. Young folks have to say, we don't want more change for a dollar. Excuse me, we want a full dollar's change for a dollar, or this cash register will never ring again.
Yes.
What's up, my good people? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing good from wherever you're watching me from. And I'm happy to see you once again. And it's that one beautiful time once again that we are in this, our little space, in this small corner of the internet. We share information, we share knowledge, we empower ourselves and motivate ourselves. So in this video, I want us to listen to this legend, Dick Gregory, may his soul rest in peace. He had a very profound and very, very important message for young black people. Young black folks need to really hear this around the world. And generally, this is a message for all black people. So without wasting so much of our time, let's jump in, listen to this legend. And at the end of this video, we will have a few lessons we shall have learned to take home. So let's jump right into this video.
And don't make the mistake that most of your mothers and fathers made. When I wake up in the morning, my prayers, and I thank God I woke up, the Ku Klux Klan woke up this morning. The drug pushers woke up this morning. I thank God that I made another 24 hours in the most vicious, nasty, hateful, insane nation that's ever existed, with my wits, without hating, without being bitter, without being mean. And I thank God that I survived 24 hours in that type of atmosphere with the type of amusement and friendliness. And so I would say to young folks, don't be in a state of denial of the racism and sexism, but don't let that block you. Don't teach your children that you have to be twice as good as a white. That's an awful thing to teach a child. That's like saying because you're black, white America has a right to change your dollar for 94 cents. But we used to get 50 cents, and before that we used to get nothing. Young folks have to say, we don't want more change for a dollar. Excuse me, we want a full dollar's change for a dollar, or this cash register will never ring again.
Yes.
I would also like for young blacks to understand that about 83% of all employment happen with small businesses. And excuse me, if you don't have a small business, then you have nobody to work for you. And I would say to young blacks, get into entrepreneurship. We will never catch up with white America till we get into business, because there's a thing called tax write-offs. And if you have a job and come together, 10 of you, and open up a corporation and have somebody run it, you hiring somebody to run it, but you have tax write-offs. 98% of people that fly first class on airplanes would not be there if that wasn't a write-off. And yet, on that first class, they gave away last year $800 million, almost $1 billion of free whiskey. But if a welfare mother asked for some apple juice for the baby, she's laughed at. And so I would say entrepreneurship, and then understand that we will never survive as a group until we get into communities and not neighborhoods. A community is, I control the police, the banks, the schools, the firefighters. and I control the flow of the money. And I have no problem when I go in a Jewish neighborhood and the shop owners are Jewish, and I go into an Italian neighborhood and the shop owners are Italian. I have a problem when I come in a black neighborhood and the shop owners is not me. A Korean has a right to come in and buy my shop for $30 million more than it's worth. That's good business. But if we decide that we're not going to do business with that boy, then he'll have to sell it back, or she'll sell it back to a black person for $1 million.
Yes.
And then the money circulates, and that's how you change. We've been so busy dealing with the hurt and the pain and the misery and glamorizing a hand few that have made it, that we have never really looked at, like they say, your role model. If you haven't got a role model in your house, you should fall on your knees and pray to God, because something is wrong.
Yes.
And so I would say to young folks, it's not about alcohol, but it's hard for me to say that to you when a 5-year-old got to reach past mama's beer and papa's wine to get some mayonnaise. I would also say to young folks that the number one drug that will wipe you out is not cocaine, it's not heroin, it's marijuana, and they deliberately make that a recreation drug, but it stays in the muscles, it stays in the blood, and it will wipe out your memory bank. And also, this is the first time in the history of TB that TB has always been known as poor folks. It's the first time that TB is not running rampant in the ghetto. It's running rampant in middle income white America, because it's the marijuana that they spray, and that's no accident. And so I would just say to young folks, you have to reevaluate everything you've been taught. I would say to the black folks that just because a black person is 90 years old don't mean they have wisdom, and you need to listen to them, because if you was dumb and stupid when you was 9, you dumb and stupid when you 90.
Wow, that's such a wonderful video. And the first thing I want us to take note of, he has said, and black young folks need to know this, is drugs, those that they legalize, are the ones that the system uses to eliminate us, to take hold of us and make sure we can't go beyond those, we can't see beyond those drugs. He mentioned here that because of course he comes from the United States of America, and we know that in America people really consume marijuana as a recreational drug. You see, those they call recreational drugs are the ones that we need to be much more careful over, even than the illegal drugs. Okay, there are a few things he articulates very, very nicely. And I have 4 points, about 4 points I have noted that we can just knock them off. So one of the points is he says, first of all, you need to get up and be thankful that you as a black person, you as a pro black person watching this video need to be up and thankful that you have survived this wicked world. This world is truly wicked, we know. As a black person, or as a person who understands black history, you definitely understand when we say that this is a wicked world towards black people, because the system, as it has been set historically, has been there to disenfranchise, to oppress black people. So if you have been able to survive all this, and I know one thing I can give to all of you black people is you are very resilient, that we cannot even debate about. You are very resilient, because the goal was to wipe you out of the face of the earth. But you see what? You still have always, against all the odds, survived all the attack, all the oppression, everything that they have thrown at you. But now then, it's not enough to just stay at a position of victim. You have to be thankful you're still here as a black person, but what are we gonna do? This brings us to the next step. So the point number 2 is, he says, establish a legit business. It's not always about employment. It's not always about jobs. And this is a good point for not African Americans, but I think Africans relate to this point even better. Africa and all of the 54 countries in Africa, there is a dangerous, can say, rate of unemployment. There are no jobs. There's no way for you out. We all are finishing universities, and the system that really told us that going to school will change our lives has now refused to take us in. It's saturated with people, and it's looking bleak. Like there's no hope. There's no light at the end of the tunnel, as we were told, right after school. Now, again, for Black folks in the diaspora, let's speak about Black folks in Europe, Black folks in America. I mean, you have to work twice as hard as a white person to just prove your worth. And it becomes even worse if you are coming from Africa, because they think your bachelor's degree or your master's degree or your PhD is not as good enough. So you have to prove a point every time, even though based on merit, you can actually beat and challenge any white folks that is given the job because of the color of their skin or because of a skilled system that we are living in. So it is time to build businesses because we cannot all be employed somehow by this system, but we can manage to empower ourselves and to employ ourselves and each other. And by the way, true success when it comes to business, entrepreneurship, and money lies in business, not in employment per se, not in employment particularly, but in businesses, having and owning our own Black businesses. In some of my videos, I really keep advocating for the need for us to support Black-owned businesses as Black people. Abscond and refuse to buy and to support and promote businesses that do not promote Black people. And when I say this, it is only possible to do this if at all we Black people as a Black community in fact have our businesses from which we can then support, we can then buy, we can then acquire goods, items, commodities, or the services that we need. But we cannot keep talking about empowering Black businesses, buying from Black brothers and sisters, while we as a Black community don't even have a business from which we can buy from. You understand what I mean? So we need to have that business as small as we can start from wherever, and then from there we can support each other by buying Black and in fact consolidating our financial muscle as a Black community, because some of the opportunities and some of the things that really are becoming a challenge to us is because we don't have a financial muscle like for white people. If only we had the financial muscle, most of Black inventions in America today, specifically in America, would have been patented or would have been under the patents of Black families. They would have been Black owned and would have been generating billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars, to Black families and empowering Black people. Another thing, other than establishing a legit business, we also need to start or establish legit communities. And this is very important. And a community, he says clearly, or if you understood, is not a neighborhood. We're not talking about a neighborhood, because we Black people cannot probably live in one neighborhood altogether, right? From Africa to Europe to America to South America to the Caribbeans. No way, it's not possible. But we can live as a community far and as wide as we are across the entire world. We need a community of Black people. When we talk about promoting Black businesses, we can do that if we are a community. If we talk about consolidating our power, be it financial, be it social, be it cultural, be it political, then we can only do that if we are a community. A community is we have something in common. And of course, there was already something common about us across the entire globe. It is our color, the color of our skin, the black identity. So I say this myself: black should not just be limited to the color of our skins. Black should be, more than anything, our racial identity, and at the same time, and equally or more so, a political identity. In a very politically active world like we're living in today, it really pays. It really, really pays. I can't emphasize that enough, to have a political identity that is strong in numbers, and I have already mentioned that a community is what also will promote business. Then the last point here is reevaluate everything you have been taught. I have always said this in this channel many times, so let me say it again for the umpteenth time, and I will not tire to continue to educate my black brothers and sisters from wherever I can reach with this smaller platform. Whatever we have been taught in those history books is false history, is propaganda, is nothing but pure lies. You must reevaluate. You must ask critical questions on the truthfulness of everything we have been taught. Because everything we are taught in that school system is whitewashed, is made to glorify white supremacy, is made to disenfranchise black people, is made to hide the achievements, the success of black people, is made to hide from you that you're the most important living being on this planet, if at all we were to look at the color of skin to measure importance. So that is what I had for you in this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you have learned something, if you have anything to share, go down to the comment section and share your opinions right there. Give this video a thumbs up and share this video with your friends and your family. And please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, I definitely ask you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button to be part of this family. In case you're coming across this channel for the first time, you're highly, highly welcome. This is our little small corner in this huge internet space where we learn, we inform ourselves, we accrue knowledge, we speak from a black perspective. So until next time, I will be happy to see you in the next video. Peace out.